Hello, everybody, and welcome back to today's session. We are on day 10 of our lockdown for COVID-19 in South Africa, and I'm Karen House. This is Leanne Hunt. How are you today? You good?
Good, thank you. Yeah, feeling quite positive today.
Yes, I am too. I love this topic today. It's called Practicing
Mm,
Gratitude. And
yes.
I've definitely gained from this. I mean, it was just last year that I did a challenge on Facebook that was to post 365 days of gratitude. It was hashtag 365
Yeah.
days of gratitude. I did it every single day. I missed a few days now and again, but really, I can honestly say it made a big difference to me.
Mm.
So I'm a believer in this. And Leanne, just tell us, are you seeing people practicing gratitude at this time?
Yes, I think I am. Certainly, I'm seeing a lot of my friends on social media doing it, and I think I'm picking up on the bigger news channels as well. The angle is often towards a more positive outlook in the midst of all the bad news. I do see that people are making an effort to practice gratitude.
Yes, yes, I'd say that that's exactly my observation too. What are
Mm.
you grateful for yourself then, Lee, personally?
Okay, well, it's a Sunday and it's sunny, which is wonderful. After 5 days or so of rain and laundry building up, it's great. We can do the laundry and hang it out in the sunshine. I'm grateful for that. I'm, I must say, I'm just also grateful for the things in my life, comfortable home and intact family, good friends, and access to good information. So those are sort of the things that I know that I'm very fortunate to have. On a bigger scale, I think I'm very grateful that over the last 10 to 15 years, we've seen a rise in the mindfulness movement, in
Yes.
positive psychology, and in the whole idea that has been sort of promoted to people, that being grateful and counting your blessings is very good for your mental health. It's something that has always, I think, been embraced by Christian doctrine, the Catholic
Yes.
and Protestant traditions. I grew up in an Anglican church. We were always taught count your blessings, be grateful. Um, but nowadays, I think there's less of that permeating ordinary society. But taking its place is things like the science of happiness. And people are actually getting research, in proper scientific experiments to show that things like being grateful, keeping a gratitude journal, doing unto others what you'd have them do to you, those kind of things is actually very, very good for your happiness.
Yes. Well, actually, just leading on from that, perhaps you can remind us, Lee, of just why gratitude's so important at a time like this.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, look, let me take you back a little bit because as people who've been following the series know, I began losing my eyesight at the age of 13, and at 17, I was declared legally blind. So
Yes,
I've had to really grapple with whole idea of, it's not fair and why me and all that kind of thing.
exactly.
And I learned very early on that it was important to kind of look at the positive things in my life. And of course, there are many because I was raised by a lovely family and
Mm.
I had wonderful opportunities. So there was always something good that I could focus on. But the thing that I find interesting, which I think is important for people to consider, is that one of the meanings of the word attitude is a stance or a posture. Now, that's a very
Yes.
concrete interpretation of the word. So it's like really the direction you're facing. And if you
Okay.
imagine that you're standing in your life, are you facing towards all the things that bring you distress? Those very difficult, unhappy, ugly, or tragic things, whatever they
Yes.
are, they bring you distress. Or have you turned around and are you facing the things that bring you joy and contentment? So perhaps they're kids playing on the lawn, or a puppy, or the knitting project that you've just finished, or the cake baking in the oven, or whatever it is that
Yes.
is just the small things that are really so wonderful in your life. So in that way, get an image of yourself standing in your life, and are you facing the negative or the positive? Now, the really special thing about facing the positive things and being grateful for what you have instead of sort of focusing on what you don't have, is that it empowers you. So you become, instead of being helpless, you actually become somebody who can play a role. Because now consider that I don't have sight, but somebody else does have sight.
Yes.
Suddenly, if they're focusing on the fact that they have sight, they can say, well, there's somebody in my life who doesn't have sight. Therefore, I can play a role. Therefore, I can be
Yes.
useful to help that person and to be of service. The same with, if you have hearing or if you have legs to walk across the room, you can be the one that actually carries the tea from one side of the room to the other, And
Yeah.
these are all very small domestic examples, but I think, we are stuck at home. We are in confinement at the moment. It's
Yes.
the sort of environment that we can really focus on what we have, and what we should be grateful for.
Yes.
And then, as I say, applying it to where you can be of service. Because once you know where you can be of service, it empowers you, and you go from sort of feeling like a victim, and suddenly you've got self-esteem, because you've really gone up on that ladder in Maslow's hierarchy of needs,
Yes.
from being
Absolutely.
somebody, at the survival level, or the safety and security, or the anxiety, where you'd feel anxiety because you're so insecure. You're now sort of thinking, no, I have things to give. I'm not completely lacking. I can be grateful for so much. I've got something to give. And it boosts you. You've got
Mm.
now a sense of belonging in your community, and you can have self-esteem. So you've really, it's a powerful,
It's
powerful
wonderful.
tool,
Yes,
practically.
yes. Thank you. I think that's a wonderful visual you gave us of standing. I just thought of standing in your living room, and perhaps
Yeah.
even if you look towards the sunrise and you then turn around and look towards the sunset, and
Mm.
are you looking at the positive or the negative? It's like almost a physical
Mm.
wake up, hey, that you
Mm-hmm.
can give yourself towards gratitude. And I actually find also
Yeah.
gratitude's a great softener in a difference of an opinion. So if you don't
Oh,
agree, but you
yes.
can say, well, let's just be grateful for what we have. The whole
Exactly.
discussion just becomes a much more kind discussion.
Mm.
So it's
Definitely.
fantastic. Thank you, Lily, for a
Good.
great day, a great
Mm-hmm.
message today. And we are now then finishing off day 10, and tomorrow is Monday, start of a new week, and
Mm.
we will be then into day 11. So thank you for
Yes.
joining us today, and have a lovely
Good.
one. Bye bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.